the All-Star selection. I know the day you found out was kind of hectic because you leaving camp, but can you just kind of take us through when you found out, kind of what was the reaction to you and after all that?
Yeah, I know it was definitely cool. Being able to, it was after the game, get on the bus, across the line, kind of. So a little speech and kind of let into it. The best like in the first All-Star game, and just moment come true, dream come true. I just be able to feel the bus, teammates were all happy for me, and just be able to sit there and be able to experience the entire thing was so cool. Overall awesome day, and like I said, moment on that dream.
It's been a couple of days, but kind of sunk in. Kind of the magnitude of it all, being the first rookie A's player, really, kind of all the stuff that comes with it.
Yeah, I think it's sunk in a little bit, but I think once it really starts getting closer and start, traveling and getting there, I think it's definitely going to really sit in, really kind of heavy for sure. But definitely, I've gotten reached out to by a bunch of family and friends, and had some great phone calls, and it's been it's pretty fun last few days.
What are your memories of the All-Star game on TV? Like watching it on TV? Do you have any memories or any fun moments that you can recollect?
Yeah, I mean, just being able to watch the game each every year, it's just a fun event. You get to see, obviously the best, players in the game, faces of the game, be on the same field, as teammates. You don't really get to see too often. So, it's a great game. It's awesome. Super excited to be a part of it, and super excited to represent this organization.
I know you always talked to your dad. What was his first reaction in this election to the All-Star game? And what kind of advice did you first?
Kind of the reaction was very similar to when I called him. I think he called big leagues for my debut the first time. It was definitely very similar conversation. Super pumped, super happy, and it's very phone call to be able to call him. And he's the guy that obviously worked baseball wise my entire life. He's always kind of been number one coach, also dad at the same time. So those phone calls are always fun just because he's been coached since day one. Since I was a kid. So phone calls are always super cool. And advice is you just said go have fun. It's gonna be a fun time. You only one game throughout the year, so you just say have fun and just enjoy playing with the guys around you and other chasing the game.
Did you see a bigger reaction from friends and family for this, or when you got first called up?
Very similar, very very similar reactions. It was super cool. Those phone calls are always very fun to make, and being able to see the reactions is obviously super special to me, and just can't wait to see them in person. They're gonna be there, so it's gonna be pretty fun to be able to see them and hug them, and overall enjoy the week.
Jacob, congratulations, but I have to ask you, you've been Nick Cook's back to back looking at a month. What it's like playing with this guy. What that says about this organization, finding talent like you.
Yeah, it's incredible to watch him, do his thing on a daily basis. He got drafted less than a year ago. Obviously, very young. It's pretty cool, to see the young guys really kind of step up on the stage and just be able to represent the organization. Like I said, kind of just shows where we're at and where we're going to be in the next multiple years from now. Just with all the young guys come up here and shining very early. We got a lot of young talent here, and I think that as we get more years in the future, we're going to get more talented. It's gonna be a good squad to be part of for a long time, hopefully.
How much of this season and the performance you had, what do you think contributes to the All-Star selection?
I think it just goes back to the people you have in the corner, your teammates, your coaches, your family, just being able to talk to them, and just being able to learn each and every day. We have that. Obviously our my teammates have been you're with them every day, talking to them, and they've been everything to me. And then you obviously have the coaches who help you from the coaching side as much as they can, and to be able to have resources like my family that I can call whenever I need, and my dad whenever I need anything baseball wise is always there to talk about it, and like your mom and sisters that just kind of call and talk about life. They're the biggest support group that you have in your family. So it's kind of a lot of thank you to pass along, but it's definitely not just.
Were you watching the program when it was announced, or how was just when you found out? Like, what was that environment like?
Yeah, I watched the program. It's something that was pretty special. For me to be able to watch it, just experience it firsthand, and I got to first found out from Cots. That was just kind of that was the first cool moment. Then being able to watch the program and just being able to see the entire thing, see all the other faces that are going, and just being able to look forward to it and be excited and just really just just enjoy it with my teammates. They're the reason that I am in my position that I am today, and being able to talk to them and just share the moment with them was pretty cool.
How much of a full circle moment is it for you making the All-Star game 21 years after your dad made it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's it's gonna be pretty cool. I think it's like he was saying, I was the first father-son shortstop to ever be a part of an All-Star game. So that's something that it's special to me. Just because throughout my dad's career, I got to go to his All-Star game, and when I was a kid, and I got to experience it, and now it's kind of a whole shift. Now he gets to come support me at mine, and it's pretty cool. Pretty special for us to be able to have that as a father son all star, and we're super blessed. Like I said, a lot of thank yous go out to a lot of different people.
As you get more at bats and your career continues to go on, are you noticing that teams are having more in-depth scouting reports on you, and are you having to adjust? Just what's that process been like throughout your rookie season?
Yeah, I think it's kind of the name of the game is guys try to look back at what you have failed at in the past, and they try to go out there and adjust, just like we're trying to adjust different pitches that we face. You just gotta you just like the game of adjustments. You gotta go up there, you gotta learn, and you just gotta go up there and like you're facing the best pitchers in the world. You gotta battle, gotta adjust, and overall just go out there and have fun. And it's obviously a very difficult game when you're playing the best in the world at it. So you just gotta try to make adjustments as quick as you can, and just go out there and work hard and have fun.
You set high expectations for yourself, and the type of season you had, but being honored in that way, especially with fans voting and bar in Sacramento, does that just kind of bring out even more special given all the circumstances?
Oh yeah, it's definitely super special to be voted by the fans. That is something that I'll forever be grateful for. You play this game for the fans in the stands. You go, I love talking to them, signing autographs, being able to meet different fans, different A's fans here and on the road, and I just can't thank them enough for all the votes that they casted for me. Without them, I wouldn't be in the position I am. So I'm just super grateful for them, and they're super happy to, I guess, I represent this organization.
Who are you most likely looking forward to meeting or working with in the career?
All of them.
Yeah.
There's not really one person you really look at, but all those faces that are there that they've been very successful in years in the past, and like I said, faces again. You go up there, you want to talk to them, and want to learn and be able to not just talk to one person, talk to all of them for sure. So I'm looking forward to being able to maybe make new friendships along the line, being hopefully play against them for a long time, and just being able to talk to them on the field is something that I really enjoyed in the first half of the year, and hopefully
You should stop in a second.
yeah. So I get a lot of conversations, and hopefully down the road we can make friendships and keep talking to guys on the second base. It's pretty cool.
Guess we got to ask you just one question about Giants A's. In your limited time in the bigs, what's been your take on the rivalry? What do you think about the series being here in West Sac?
Yeah, it's definitely a cool series. Obviously, growing up, you always kind of see the battle of the day, and now we just keep playing them, and they're obviously a good team, so it's gonna be a good challenge for us to go out there and show that we try and compete with them, and go out there and just play good baseball and try to go get a win.
Cool. Thanks.